Okay, let's take a look a little bit at Ubuntu, Linux, Unix commands, if you want to think of it that way. Um, Now, I'm currently sitting here with my terminal up. If your terminal isn't up, then click this terminal button here. And if I do an ls, this will list the files that's located under there. And see, some of them are different colors. So that music that's a light blue, if I do a CD space and then music, that'll change to that folder. If I do an ls there, there's nothing under that. Now to go back one folder, if I do a pwd, it tells me I'm under /home/user/music. So to go back one, you do a cd space ... And now if I do pwd, you see I'm under /home/user. Now, ls just lists them, but if I do an ls-l, that's a lawn listing. That'll show some more information about the files. And if I'm going to create a file here just to demonstrate something in a minute, but if I do a pwd, I'm under /home/user. If I do a cd space ... that'll go back another folder. So I do pwd and I'm under home now. Now it is very picky about it. You can't leave that space out. So if I do cd ... it'll give me a command not found. If I do uppercase cd space ... it'll say command not found. So I do cd space ... and now pwd, and that means I'm under the root. And if I do an ls, this shows the different folders are available. So I can go under, do a cd space bin, and this is where a lot of the system utilities are stored. So I do an ls, and you can see all the different ones. And you even notice there's one called ls. So that's what we've been doing with the ls. Now I'm currently under bin. If I do a cd space ... back to the root. Now I can very quickly go back to my home directory by doing a cd space and then a tilde, and then press enter. And now if I do pwd, you see we got /home/user. Okay, now I want to create a file I can work with to demonstrate this. So I'm going to do ls to list the file, and I'll list everything in my current folder, and I'll output it somewhere eventually. That's really vague, isn't it? Output it somewhere eventually. Okay. So if I do an ls, looks like that. Now if I do an ls, then greater than files.txt, press enter. Now if I do an ls, you see I have a file called files.txt. And to list that file, I can do a cat files.txt, and that'll list everything that's in that file, which doesn't look like very much, just a listing of what's in that folder. Okay, now I'm going to copy that to a new folder. So I'll do a make directory case, and this sometimes I don't get the syntax correct on this. I'm going to say cp files.txt, and then I'll do a case, and I'm not sure of the slash here. Let me try this one. Slash, yeah, I guess that is the correct one. I'm looking up above. Files.txt. Now if I do an ls here, the files.txt is still here, but if I do a cd space case, then I see ls and I see the files.txt here. Now we're going to run the dd command, and this is presented in the book, and they give you the syntax. And they tell you though, to remember that the dd command is not a forensics data acquisition tool, so keep that in mind. So I do dd, and this is our input file, equals, and I don't think I need to put the location, so let me just type in files.txt, see if that works. Now I'm going to do a split, even though this file is small enough that we shouldn't need to do a split. -B 650 M dash and then image underscore SDB1 and press enter. And it kind of gives us some information. Now if I do an ls, you see it created a file. And if I do ls-l for lawn listing, then that gives us our file. Now what you can do with this file then is you could email it to yourself. So you're not stuck with having it in your virtual machine. Like if I come over here and I click Firefox, took a little bit to come up, and then I want to bring up my my email, and I'll go ahead and pause the recording at this point, so none of my personal information gets gets put out there. But let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so if I send it to myself, there you go, and say file, and then I do an attachment. Click the attach, and I click on my computer. And it may not be what you're used to seeing this here. You know, this is not the same as Windows. You see there's a user option here. If I go to user, this probably looks familiar. These are the same files I was looking at underneath the terminal. And if I go into the case folder, double click that, you see you got your image SDB1AA. So I'll go ahead and click on open on that. Attach as a copy. And then you can send that to yourself. So you click send, and that comes in as to yourself as a file. So then you can bring up this on a Windows machine, and you can save that file to it. That's a very easy way to transfer the file. There's other ways. If you've got a flash drive connected, on some of these you can find a flash drive and see it. Let me see, where's it at? If I go to files over here, you would see it listed over here. And I don't think I got anything connected on this machine, so unfortunately I can't show it. But Ubuntu is very user friendly, and that's one method to get the file to yourself. And that's how you can use the dd command to create from my file to create a file we can work with.